morning, and welcome to my video. Firstly, welcome to my bedroom, I guess. Bit of a random setup for today's video, but it's got, weirdly enough, the best lighting in the house. I've got like a ring light on one side and then this beaming bright window on the other side, so we're just going to work with it. I thought I'd sit down today and do a what's in my professional makeup kit video. In case you've missed it, don't know where you've been if you follow me on Instagram, but I'm a makeup artist. And yeah, I frequently work on location, so I frequently have to pack up my kit. I do have a very set up home studio here, so I like to work from home studio where I can, but obviously things like weddings and things, that's not possible, so I work from a kit. This is my kit. So it's a San Michelle carry-on suitcase. It's one of those brands that the suitcase probably weighs, I think it's about 2.7 kgs alone, so it's really light, which means you can obviously fit a lot more in if you're traveling. I obviously don't use it to fly. I have before and it was, oh god, I recommend never flying with a makeup kit, just recommend somebody else. But yeah, so it's technically also my carry-on suitcase for when I travel, but I use it mainly for my kit. I do have a MAC Zucca, so the classic makeup artist case. I bought that when I was working at MAC. I love it, but it's so bulky. It's also really, like, it's a really solid framed bag, so you can't really manipulate it to fit things that you want it to fit. I do use it every now and then, but I think that this one just holds more, and it's also a little bit more discreet. A bit random, but every now and then I'll be like walking through town or whatever with my kit for some reason. I don't really like walking around with something that's got MAC written all over it. To any crazy female that might be absolutely make me and steal all of my stuff. This is how I set it up. So it's obviously got like a half off thing, which I'll show you in a minute, but this bit here is my main compartments of the bag. So this here is the main compartment of my suitcase, and then on this side here, once we unzip it, is things that are a little bit more loose. They don't have, everything's going to fall when I open this, but should be right. They don't have like massive bags to sit in, so they all just kind of sit in here. But if I just fold this back neatly and tuck it in a wee bit, this is what my suitcase looks like when I open it. So obviously I've got a whole range of things down the side and same on the side. So what we'll do is we'll break down the compartments. I'm going to start with the big side full of all of my good stuff. So first things first, I have these MAC Zucca bags here. They came with my MAC Zucca. You can buy them individually. I know the, what's it called, the Makeup Collective, I think, which is the shop run by the makeup school up in Auckland, sells them individually. I would 100% recommend these if you are studying a makeup kit. They're clear, you can see everything. The ones that you buy online obviously won't have MAC on them, but they look super professional. I have a few that don't have MAC. And you can fit so much in them. Like, they're quite tall, they have really sturdy zips, and some of them also have Velcro on the back, so you can stick them down if you need to. So I'll zoom you in and we'll work through this one. So in this one here is my main skincare, a couple of like prep products, but it's here pretty much my prep bag. So I've got a whole thing of cotton wool. Now you'll notice a trend when I start to do these things, that when I'm like using these in my studio at home, if I get to about here, that will just automatically become a kit bag, and I'll store it in a drawer full of stuff that's kind of half empty, because carrying a massive one around is totally unnecessary. There's no way to use that all in one drop. But I've got a whole lot of cotton, what are they called? Cotton rounds. I've got some of the Bon Bon Fast Dry Brush Cleaner. This stuff's amazing because it dries really quickly and it smells really good. So I use this when I absolutely have to, otherwise I will shampoo my brushes when I get home. But on massive wedding parties, sometimes you need to spot clean. Here I have hairspray. For a myriad of reasons. I actually use hairspray to set brows. I find it way easier, but it's also good for girls who have static dresses. So I use it a lot at weddings to spray on their legs to stop their dress from staticking. And then in here, these little containers here are from Muji in America. Don't know where you'd get anything similar here, but I'm sure you'll find something. I've got all my minis, so I've got Fix Plus MAC softening lotion, eye makeup remover, and then a hand sanitizer. These bottles here were all just normal bottles, and I switched the lids out for sprays just because spray is so much easier. And then this is the thank you hand sanitizer, and it smells bloody yum, so I use that a lot. In this one here, I've got a whole lot more minis. So I've got MAC strobe cream, what are we talking about, MAC fast response eye cream, 24-hour eye base, Skindinavia the bridal setting spray, so you can get these wee minis, and I just have a big bottle and fill them up. I have these 3 wee bottles. Again, they're from Muji. Don't know where you'd get something similar, but you can find them. This has MAC Moisture Infusion, MAC Natural Radiance, and MAC Gold Light Strobe Cream. Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream for Lips. A mini, this I don't know where it was from, but a mini MAC Skin Base. A mini Hourglass Veil Primer. And I'm currently trying the Fenty Beauty Primer, so that's in there too. Unsure if I like it or not yet, but we'll keep you updated. Put all of them back in there. It helps to keep these all like this so they don't freaking make a mess everywhere. I've also got a mini Glam Glow setting spray. Again, I just filled from the big one. And then for some skincare, I've got the Clinique Moisture Surge. This is the 72-hour one for super dry skin. I would recommend letting this sink in before you apply makeup on top of it. The Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturising Jelly. Trialling this at the moment. Really enjoying it for an oilier skin. Smashbox Primerizer. Benefit Professional. This is the Matte Rescue, not the normal one. I hate the normal one. The Mecca Max Liquid Light Gold Drops. They're beautiful with a liquid highlighter. And then I've got what, a correcting, they're all MAC Lip Gloss, MAC Bright Forecast Pen, and then a MAC Prep and Prime Lip. So that's kind of my skin base bag, and it changes a lot. Like I fall in love with a new product and I'm like, right, that's got to go in there, so that goes in there. Yeah, I just switch it up. And obviously a lot of my wedding clients I will trial, so that makes a big difference as to what I take as well. Next, this is my bases bag. So this, you can see my ring light reflecting and it's really annoying me. This has all of my foundations, concealers, whole powders, etc, etc. On the top I have biodegradable cotton buds because I'm saving the planet. I have the most wasteful job ever, I swear to God, but it's like wasteful in the name of hygiene, so it's really hard. But I just keep them in their bag. They last ages. I've also got a Zoeva pouch which I got with some brushes with some disposables. Normally I'd carry a massive tray, but my wedding parties at the moment are quite small, so I don't need that many and it just takes up space. So I've got eyeliner, lip, some mascara. It's quite empty because I used it yesterday, but fill that up later. In here I have a Versette palette. This is the 24-hour palette with all of my MAC correctors and concealers. So these are the ones that come in the week 8 or 6 pans, and I just deposited them and kept them all in there. Labelled them on the bottom with a Brother label maker. I've got an RCMA no colour powder, which is in a Laura Mercier container because the RCMA container sucks. I've got 2 MAC paint pots, which is actually 4. So what I do, oh, that's not a very good one to show you, this one's a lot easier. What I do with my paint pots is I take half the paint pot and half the paint pot, and so I've got 2 paint pots that are half and half like this, and it just means that they don't dry out because you never use a whole one. So this is Soft Ochre and Painterly, and this is Groundwork and Vintage Selection. This here is a similar scenario. So this is the Chi Chi Focus, the Chi Chi brow pomade. So I've got blonde, taupe, medium brown and dark brown. You just don't need that many, and these don't dry out as quickly, so just put a little bit in there, and I have them in there. 3 shades of Estee Lauder Double Wear. Not my foundation of choice just because of how heavy it is. I don't like skin to look that heavy, but every now and then I will need it for a client, or a client will specifically request it, so on it goes. It's pretty much the way that I work. Let me just put these back in here so I don't get ghost. Cool. And this side here, you can see it's all divided. So these are from Storage Box, these plastic containers. Another wee Muji container. So this container here has a lot of things jammed into it. These are mini Studio Fix bottles. Focus. Mini Studio Fix bottles that I got from Arthur Homes, which is a little supply store in New Zealand. And that's got all my Studio Fix in it. And then, oh my god, why'd I put that back in there? These are from Muji as well. And so these have face and body foundation in it. Again, MAC, it's not focusing. I give up. Hello? Excuse me. Here? Play. There we go. Mini face and body foundations. So for face and body I have C1, C3, C5, N1, N3, and Studio Fix I change it depending. If it's summer I've got darker shades, if it's winter I've got some lighter shades, but my most used are definitely NC25, NC30, and NW13. Cool. Shove that back in there, maybe. Probably not. Okay, we'll do that later. In this side I've also got a big Studio Fix N4, simply because one of my brides needed it, so it's sitting in there. And then I've got some adjusters. So these are just if, I haven't labelled these yet, but these are just if the colours don't match. So I've got a white, a blue and a green. They're MAC as well. And then I've got all of my Prolong Wear concealers. So they're an absolute mess, but they're all labelled on the top. And I have a massive range of them. So that is that bag. I would normally not recommend making everything into small bottles, but I've had these, especially those glass ones, in small bottles. You have to bear in mind that if a product is sold to you in glass, I feel really random because you can't see me talking. You have to bear in mind that if a product is sold in glass, it's because it's designed to be kept in glass. So not depotting your Prolong Wear concealers into plastic because they'll oxidize and they won't last. Same with Studio Fix, whereas Face and Body comes in plastic, so you can put it in plastic. Make sense? Cool. Next, I just broke an L, that's cool. I have my powders bag. So this bag came in a MAC travel bag, not the Zucker, a different one, and I don't like it. I've just had a whiff of the one that there's at Warehouse apparently that's much nicer, so I'm going to go have a look this afternoon. But this one holds so many powders, and I mean it is awesome, and it's the same size as Zucker's. It fits in my suitcase perfectly, but I just hate getting in and out of it. Anyhow. In here I have all my bronzers, highlighters, blushes. So I'll just ramble them off. I'm not getting them all out, it's too hard. But I've got Becca Champagne Pop, MAC Biana Bronze, which is a limited edition, Anastasia Settle, Hourglass Radiant Bronze, Benefit Hoola, what's this one, MAC Oh Darling Highlighter, 2 Hourglass blushes, I think it's Mood Exposure and Dim Exposure, 5 MAC blushes, so I've got, oh I can't remember all their names, Warm Soul, what's this one, Hush to Tone, like Just a Pinch, and then New Romance and Dainty. On this side I've got my giant Chanel Soleil de Tan cream bronzer, MAC Hyper Real Glow, this is the Flash and Awe, and then the Mecca Lit From Within powder palette. So that's pretty much everything I will ever need. Again, if I find a blush in a makeup trial that suits better, or I get a new blush, I just pop it in here. I could probably fit 3 or 4 more products in here, but like I said, I'm going to get a different container anyway because I don't like it. Cool, so that's that half of the suitcase, and we'll move on to the other side. So sitting on top, if you were confused, is a face chart that I'm doing for a client whose wedding is coming up. I take these with me, and that way obviously I have a map of what I did. Generally I can remember, but in case I can't, it also helps I give it to the client at the end. These were designed for me by my good friend Rosa. Underneath that I have a black towel. I bought these from the Makeup Collective up in Auckland, and then wrapped in a black towel is a handheld mirror. I love doing this. I love when you can see people's setups. Hi, it's me. Here's my ring light. Here's my messy room. Cool. And I just wrap it so it doesn't break when I'm humping along the road. And then underneath that is the heaviest bag ever. It's my palettes bag. So again, it's a MAC Zucker. It fits all the palettes that I normally use perfectly, and every now and then again I will take a few extras, and I just wrap them in that towel with the mirror as well. So palettes, oh shivers. First up I have 2 Versette palettes full of MAC lipsticks. So these, you can tell that this is my most used one. This one I barely touch. I am actually going to revisit this because I really genuinely barely touch this. I use the dark reds, a couple times I'll use the orange, but this bottom row I've never touched since I did it, and it's totally unnecessary, versus this one who I refill pretty much every weekend. These hold 24 lipsticks each. They hold the entire lipstick, not just the top half of the bullet, so the whole thing, so they're absolutely amazing. I pretty much go, because I give touch-up kits, so I go through these like water, and again I have them all labelled, but like I said, I'm going to redo them, so I'll pop an Instagram post up when I do and show you what colours are in them, etc. Then I have my 2 Vise Art palettes. I adore these. They're probably my favourite products I've ever owned. They're really high quality professional makeup palettes. I have the Matte Neutrals 01 and the Sultry Muse. I would 100% recommend Matte Neutrals. They are so expensive, but it's probably the best thing I ever invested in. This one is beautiful, but I only do use pretty much that top row and a couple of the random ones at the bottom. But I know these are kind of handy to have. Right, next I have 2 NARS palettes. So I have the Wanted 1 palette and the Atomic palette. Atomic's new to my kit, but I'm really enjoying it. This one, ooh, shivers, has a massive range of everything. So I've got my berries, I've got my browns, I've got a couple like greeny tones as well. And then this one's super bronzy. It's got a bronzer and a highlighter, and then these beautiful eye shades. They're also a really nice size, which I like. I have the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which is amazing and has kind of those random shades. Like generally when I'm traveling it's for bridal, so I don't take my big colourful palettes, but say for example a mother of the bride, it's always the way, wants a blue eyeshadow at least, then I've got a few and I've got a couple hiding, but yeah, it just means that I can kind of do a lot with it. Here I have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Beautiful palette. I hated the rest of the Naked palettes, but I do love this. Just nice and warm. The Anastasia Soft Glam palette. It is absolutely, can you see that? I just smashed this palette ridiculous amounts, and it's so freaking, it's all over my bed now. Mint. So freaking fallouty. I have an Inglot palette that I customized myself, so please don't ask me for the shades because I have no idea what they are. Just easy. That looks white on the camera, but it's really not. It's a nude, all the way down to a really deep kind of dark burgundy. I have my Anastasia Brow Pro palette, so in combination with the Chi brow powders, this is pretty much all I need. It has everything. And then at the bottom I have my Makeup Forever palette with my MAC mineralized powders in it. So this is Lightscapade, Light, Medium, no, I'm really bad at this. Lightscapade Light, Light Plus, Medium, Medium Golden, Soft and Gentle, Compassion, which was a limited edition, but you could use Give Me Sun instead. This is Global Glow, and then this is Dark Deep. So I use mainly this end for bronzing. You've obviously got a highlighter and a highlighter, and then setting through here. I would probably, if I was going to do it again, not have both of these. It's totally unnecessary. They're pretty much exactly the same shade. And I'd add a slightly darker colour in for my fake tan gals. So that's all my powders. It's literally Tetris getting them all back in here. I can never remember how I did it. That wasn't it, but we'll just work with it. Just roll with it. Next, I have a couple of small Makeup Forever pouches. I get these from America when I go, but you can probably order them online actually, or something similar at like a $2 shop. And here I have a stainless steel palette. I get these from Namies again, but you can order them on AliExpress. They're super cheap. I have a range of lashes, so I have Model Rock individuals and a couple pairs of Model Rock, the thick ones. I've just got them stacked in there. And then I've got the Ardell Wispies, Ardell 110s, and the Ardell Demi Wispies. And there's also, no, that's it, confused. Lost, dazed and confused. They're my most used and I just update them. I've obviously just finished a wedding where everybody wanted Wispies. And a packet of mints, goes without saying. Goodness me, there's a lot in here. In this bottle here I have some isopropyl alcohol. I keep it in a stainless steel bottle because the ISO damages the plastic. And I feel that they don't last as well. So I just have ISO. I really need to relabel this, but that's isopropyl alcohol. 70%. Hygiene Angry is coming out. 70% isopropyl alcohol is the only thing that will sanitize your makeup. Cool. Awesome. You can get it at Chemist online, I'm pretty sure. Pen, eyelash curlers, scissors, tweezers, spatula, lash applicator, don't use it but it's handy to have, sharpener, and then I have a variety of lash glues. So I have House of Lashes for people who are allergic to latex. Same with the Duo Strip Lash, I just don't like it as much, but it's handy to have. And then the Duo White Clear, and I also have a Duo Dark, which I can't find, but it's in there somewhere. Tuck these all back in. I also have another one of these wee bags that has all my miscellaneous eye products in it that aren't palettes. So I have two mascaras. These are the Maybelline Great Lash. I have dark brown waterproof and black waterproof. I tend to use the dark brown on Mothers of the Brides, particularly on their lower lash line, just so it's not as striking. I have two Fenty Beauty sticks that I use for eyes, so I have Rum and Espresso. Oh my god. I have 4 of the Stila, I'm not going to take these all out, there's so much effort. I have 4 of the Stila Glitter and Glows, again just colours that I think would work best for bridal. 3 MAC pigments, so I have silver just because I don't really have very much silver eyeshadow and some people want silver. A tan pigment and reflex gold pigment. I have the Inglot 77 gel liner, which is the black liner that I use on my clients. The 94, which is what I will use for cutting the crease. And then somewhere down here, no, yes, there. I also have 90, which is a dark brown. I have 4 Silk Oil of Morocco pigments, so Apricot Splice, Passion Pink, Golden Bronze, and Copper Craze. 2 random MAC eyeshadows. I have Sweet Heat, which is like my go-to for everything pretty much, and Oh So, what's it called? Oh So Guilty, which is like a pretty goldy shade. I have the Revlon Colour Charge pigment in Copper, which I have been using like water. And then I have 4 Inglot pigments. So I have 119, which is kind of a pinky shift. I have, what is this called? J411, which was the Jennifer Lopez collection. It's real similar to MAC Tan, so I probably don't need both of them. 118, good for inner corner. And then I have 124, which is like the classic Inglot pigment shade. I buy my Inglot when I'm in Australia, but I'm currently trying to do a massive order because, man, it's so good. One of my favourite brands for sure. So in the top here I have a MAC bag. I use this for rubbish, trying to reduce my plastic, so use it for rubbish, and you can generally reuse them. So, but I have so many of them that I don't really need to. Just fold it up. I have a pack of cleansing wipes. I don't technically use these on the face. I generally will just use my eye makeup remover. People don't normally have a full face makeup on, but if they do, they're fine on the face. I've used them before. I just get these from Kmart. I mainly use them to wipe my hands and surfaces and things. I have a pack of Real Techniques sponges, just a clean pack that I use on clients. I leave them in their packet and then I can sit them in their packet and chuck them out. And then I have this is from Kmart, it's a brush holder, it's filthy, that I use for all of my pencils. I have significantly reduced the amount of pencils that I used to carry. I was actually ridiculous, like I was beyond stupid about how many I took, and I was like, I literally use the same ones all the time because I use the same coloured lip pencils, and you really don't need to be using that many eyeliners. So in here I have a whole range that are all MAC, apart from my eye pencils, my drum, oh god, where's the other one? So these 3 here are Inglot, the kohl pencil in 1, 3 and 5. So you've got a black, a brown and a nude. They're my favourite because they don't transfer onto contact lenses, and I have contacts and I hate when that happens. So and then the rest here are all MAC pencils. Couple gel liner, like glitter liners, liquid eyeliner, etc. In here, these are dirty because I just had a client yesterday, but is my brushes. So because I use sponges, I actually have a really low amount of brushes that I use on clients, but I'll go through what I use. They're filthy, but I'll go through them anyway. Shove them there. So on a client, I use the exact same brushes, like sets, not actual same, but where are my little ones? Right, so I'll use a sponge, but to apply their skincare I'll use the MAC 128 or a duo fibre brush. I just love it because it's two-sided, so this is synthetic and this is natural. The ones that you buy these days aren't, they're all synthetic, which sucks. So hold close to your MAC brushes if you've got them. I've then got a 168 brush, which I use for bronzing, contouring, blushing. I find that particularly for bridal, using the same brush means you don't get that stripe, it blends a lot nicer. I have a Morphe M150 brush, which I use for highlighting and setting under the eyes. It's just super light, so it doesn't kind of cake anything up. I have a, what's this? MAC 286 brush. It's a duo fibre blending brush. Do you want to focus? Maybe not. My head's in it. Can't keep up. Excuse me. Anyhow, it's a 286 blending brush. I have a MAC, oh god, what is this brush? 221 brush. So this is a smaller version of the 286, just nice and tapered. I have a MAC 242, so this is a flat shader. I use that for packing on shadows, etc. And then I have 2 small ones, so I've got a, oh my god, what is this? 266 for brows and a 228 for like the lower lash line and details. And that's kind of my main, how many are there? 8 brushes, and then I have a couple randoms that I'll take extras of, like my Real Techniques setting brush, like I said, duo fibre brushes, just for, I feel like that's better on mature skin.
to apply makeup so you don't get as much. Couple 217 brushes, the classics, and some fan brushes, etc. But they all fit in a large MAC canister. You can buy these from Mac Pro and Britomart. Their phone number is 0800 MAC shop, and you just order over the phone. Then my last things are just like hygiene things really. So I have a roll of paper towels. Again, I just wait until it's pretty much empty, and then I use this as my kit paper towel instead of taking a massive roll, because I literally will probably only need 2 or 3 squares. And then I have a tissue bag. So this bag here I got from the Makeup Collective as well. It's a linear standby belt tissue bag, and you just open the tissue box and put them in, and it holds literally, I could put a whole box of tissues in there and it would still only be like that high. So it's so handy for traveling. You can also buy the belt, and then you can hook the tissues onto the belt, which is really handy. That is my kit. Thank you so much for watching and paying attention. If you have any questions, which I'm sure if you were anything like me when I was starting out, then please leave them below and I will answer them over the next few days. I'm happy to go into detail about anything more. I know a lot of people get quite interested in how I depot things, or like what colours I have on my lip kit, things like that. So yeah, leave them below and I'll send you some photos, or we can go into a wee bit more in-depth video. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is like my first like dedicated makeup video, and I feel so unnatural talking about it. But yeah, have a great week. Oh, I almost forgot, like, comment, subscribe.